So good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Access to Capital workshop. And we are glad to have you here. So we'd like to start right away, and thank you again for joining us. Okay, I'm sure you can see my screen, so I'll just start off by talking you through my home screen. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. All right, please hold on for me. I'm trying to navigate my slides. Okay, thank you. So welcome to our Access to Capital information session again with renowned speakers who are entrepreneurs. Yes, at this point, you're only seeing one person on the flyer. I must take total responsibility for that, and I do apologize in advance because you're going to be having two speakers talk about their entrepreneurship journey. They're actually the co-founders of HelpMeWaka. So this evening we'll have with us the Mr. Olumide Ashiru Balogun and his partner, Mr. Adedun, who would tell us about their entrepreneurship journey with HelpMeWaka. But before that, I would like to tell you about the Nigerian Center. So our purpose, the Nigerian Center was established to provide a connection to the Nigerian culture while offering financial inclusion and social justice opportunities for members of the Nigerian American community in the United States. Yeah, even though we are called the Nigerian Center, our services are opened to all who walk through our doors. And the Nigerian Center is the first immigrant and cultural center for the Nigerian diaspora in the United States for the purpose of connecting and empowering the Nigerian diaspora. We support newly arrived immigrants with culturally sensitive transition and self-sufficiency opportunities. So basically what we do is to help people understand the new terrain when they just arrive and let them know the opportunities that are bound. And before I go on, I want to talk about our upcoming events. Particularly tomorrow, we'll be having an event on on the individual taxpayer identification number. Okay. No, okay, sorry. Before I go to our event, I need to talk about our programs. I'm sorry about that. So I want to go through the programs we do at the Nigerian Center and how we serve. So one of our programs is the immigration. I mean, as we know, the United States is a land of opportunity, but without the legal presence in the United States, people struggle unnecessarily, and it could take a long time to adjust. So the Nigerian Center, our immigration team, therefore provides different services to help people, to support people through this process. Our services include naturalization, asylum adjustment, employment authorization, document, filing paperwork, family petitions, advanced paroles, and a range of other immigration opportunities. So we are currently leading the TPS for Nigeria campaign aimed at helping undocumented Nigerians living in the United States. And you can learn more about these opportunities on our website at nigeriancenter.org. And I also want to talk about our immigration clinic on Thursdays. We have a free walk-in immigration clinic, and we encourage people to walk in on Thursdays between 12:30 and 4:30 p.m. to see our lawyers and talk to them about the immigration challenges. It's a free walk-in clinic, so we encourage people to please come and utilize this service. We also do small business. That's part of the programs we offer. So we help solve the issues of people accessing credit. We know it could be difficult for immigrants to access credits to the traditional ways of accessing credits via the banks and all. So we help people access loans and solve their entrepreneurship journeys. So one of the things we do, part of the services we provide is small business loan applications, technical assistance, business counseling, coaching, connection to mentors, entrepreneurship mentors, and all that. And of course, that is part of why we are gathered here this evening to learn how we can maximize this opportunity. We have our home ownership programs. And again, we know that in the US, sometimes the core foundation for wealth building is owning your home. And we know how difficult it is to own a home. And our work at the Nigerian Center is to help people cross this hurdle. We provide services such as one-on-one home ownership counseling, access to first-time home borrower resources, and other resources that pertain to, to the home ownership. So we encourage you to please follow our work. We have our website is very detailed. You see all we do, how we serve, and we encourage you to please, take the opportunity to understand what we do. Our upcoming events. So before we proceed, I'll quickly like to tell you about our upcoming events, one of which we're going to be having tomorrow. And then that's the Individual Taxpayer Identification Number ITIN workshop for immigrants. And this workshop is basically to empower you with the knowledge and resources to successfully obtain your ITIN and to fulfill your tax obligations as an immigrant. A non-resident alien, or someone who is not eligible for a social security. A lot of migrants fall into this category. So this is what this workshop is meant for. Even if it's not for you, if you know anybody who will be needing this information, please send out this information to them, and we encourage you to please register for events and join us. Again, you can visit the Nigerian Center.org/events to catch up with our upcoming events. This and other upcoming events will feature on the website. Get involved. How do you get involved? There are various ways to get involved in Nigerian Center, one of which is our social media page. So we encourage you to visit our media page to find recordings on our previous events and catch up on our work and be a part of what we do at the Nigerian Center. So, and again, our event for this night will also be there. So please follow us. So please, catch up with us at www.nigeriancenter.org/media. And that's one. Volunteer opportunities is another way for you to be a part of the Nigerian Center. We are currently receiving applications for volunteers to join our team for different roles: language tutors, program manager interns, language teaching assistants, and other volunteer opportunities. So we encourage you to please email us to find out how you can be part of the team. Again, catch up with this at www.nigeriancenter.org/serve. Yes. Another way to join us is to be part of the community partners. There's another way to get involved. And again, if you're a community leader or an organization committed to supporting the Nigerian diaspora in the areas of immigration, ownership, financial inclusion, and any way you serve the migrant community, please join our community partners. It's a way to build connections with you, to understand what you do, understand what we also do, and then we'll find ways to collaborate. So please be part of our community partners. Again, you can find out more here on the website. And yes, we encourage you to be part of our social media audience. We have a presence on social media. We're on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And our handles are at the Nigerian Center. So please follow us on social media, be a part of our audience, and you catch up on everything we're doing. Yes, donations. This is another way you can get involved. And I'm actually reaching out to you again to tell you I'm extending that invitation to you to become a donor for the Nigerian Center. I mean, whether it's $5 or $20, your contributions go a long way. It enables us to continue the critical work we do in the area of providing immigrant justice and promoting financial inclusion opportunities. Now, I know that a lot of people wait to have the big money and all that, but no, no matter how small you want to start, we just encourage you to start something. You could be, a recurring donor, no matter how little, just be part of. Just encourage you to be part of this of this. And I must say that we're volunteer-led organizations, and we're a volunteer-led organization rather, and we rely on these donor funds to help us to continue our work. So please, your support means a lot to us, and we encourage you to please consider being a donor. And then you can do this by going to the www.nigeriancenter.org/donate. And basically, that is what I want to tell you about the Nigerian Center. And without much ado, I would like to introduce our speakers for today. And like I said, even though the flyer is showing just one speaker, we have two speakers from HelpMeWaka who will tell us about their entrepreneurship journey, the challenges they faced as as a startup in America, how they overcame the challenges, how they're overcoming the challenges, and they will just tell us about small business and what to expect if you're towing this line. And of course, our speakers are the co-founder of HelpMeWaka, and one is Mr. Olumide Ashiru Balogun, who is a highly driven and innovative tech entrepreneur known for his visionary leadership and expertise in the technology industry. He has a strong passion for leveraging technology to solve complex problems and improve people's lives. Olumide has made significant contributions to this field. He's consulted with several Fortune 500 companies, private companies, and government organizations. He currently owns the HelpMeWaka with his partner, Mr. Adedoyin Akinoro, and he serves as the Chief Operating Officer. Alongside his entrepreneurial endeavors, he's very passionate about his family and for fun. He loves to have fun, he loves to travel. And our second speaker will be Mr. Adedoyin Akinoro, who is also the co-founder of HelpMeWaka, highly skilled and accomplished professional serving as the Chief Technology Officer for HelpMeWaka. Of course, you learn about HelpMeWaka today. He has a passion for innovation and deep understanding of technology trends. He's made significant contributions to the company's success. As the Chief Technology Officer of HelpMeWaka, he plays a crucial role in shaping the company's technological direction and implementing innovative solutions. He's responsible for overseeing the development of cutting-edge software applications and leading the organization and ensuring they remain at the forefront of the industry. So without much ado, I'm going to be handing you over to our speakers. Thank you very much. And yes, we'll see you shortly.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening. First of all, I would like to say, a big, give a big kudos to the Nigerian Center. This is something that, we've always been yearning for. So we're so happy that, finally we have something that we can actually call ours. My name is Olumide Ashiru Balogun, and as you mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders with my partner, Adedoyin on the call. We run HelpMeWaka.com. So let me pause with that and let me just let Doyin introduce himself, and then we can just, get things going.
From my end, my name is Adedoyin Akinoro. I'm one of the co-founders of HelpMeWaka. It's good to be on board, and I really appreciate what the Nigerian Cultural Center is doing. It's a big ups. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So HelpMeWaka, what is HelpMeWaka? HelpMeWaka is, it's so funny when you hear the name HelpMeWaka. We were looking for a name that was catchy, but also serious too. So when you hear, when people hear help me, we know what help me is. Then when we hear Waka, Waka means that run things for me, run around for me. So we started our journey in 2019. Like everyone, you have an idea, you know what you want to do, but doing it is like the hardest part. So for like entrepreneurs, what we always say is, you can think of things that this is what I want to do, write it down. And once you write it down, then take the next steps to actually put action behind it. So in 2019, HelpMeWaka was founded. It was kind of strange because I used to tell I said, doing the hardest part is getting the first order to come in. So we were like, this is December 2019. We're like, okay, what's going to happen? And as soon as the first order came in, I was like, that's it. So what do we need to do? We get the first order in, but we have to ensure that customer service wise, yes, we're talking about Nigeria, cultural center, we're doing all that, but we as Africans, we need to think in a way that we are not going to do things, quote unquote, the African way. What I mean is, we have to be customer service wise, we have to be on point. Delivery wise, we have to be on point. Operation wise, we have to be on point. So those are the things that my partner and I, we looked at. And till today, both of us, we're still 100% involved with every single thing that goes on. Now, we're not saying that entrepreneurs should not delegate. We have teams, we have pillars within our organization. However, we still want to know because we want to make sure that the customers that come to us, they get the best and the best of the things, So it's not like, you come in and you just saying you're getting subpar stuff. One of the things that we always tell our customers is, actually, let me just digress for just a second here. So at HelpMeWaka, what we do, we basically run errands in Africa. Right now, we're in Nigeria and Ghana. Our plan is to actually cover the entire, Africa landscape. So some of the services that we run, we help people to deliver groceries to their loved ones. So you just go on the website, it's helpmewaka.com. You put in the name of the person you need to send the groceries to. You pick the groceries that you need to send. You make the payments. Within 72 business hours, we deliver. However, within 24 hours, we usually deliver. So transcript is another service that we do. We can help you go to schools to go, get your transcripts, people that have been here for so many years, or people that have even, that just even arrived in the US and they need to get their transcripts from their schools. They don't need to travel over there. They'll basically just go on our website and we get the job done for them. You want to send cakes to your loved ones during special seasons like birthdays, anniversaries, you come through us. You want to do legalization of documents, you come through us. You want to do investigations, you come through us. You need health insurance. So many services that we're adding. Our goal is just like the Nigerian Center. We want to be like the go-to place for Africans when it comes to things done in Africa. So I'm going to pause now. Yeah, I know my CTO is on the line, so let them at least, talk about all the things that are basically not just coming to mind. So, Donyo, over to you.
Thank you, Olumide. Like you just mentioned, we strictly run critical errands for diasporans. When I say diaspora, right now, Nigerians and Ghanaians, critical errands that they want to get done in those countries. And as Olumide mentioned earlier, we tackle groceries, we tackle transcripts, health insurance for loved ones. Then we also have miscellaneous errands in which people want to get certain unique things done. Our criteria for most tasks is we only pick up tasks that can be done in a limited time frame. So any task that has a long time frame, like building a house, we don't do that. But we only deal with projects that have clear, definite start and end time, which is a time frame of like 2 to 3 weeks. Those are the kind of errands or critical errands we take care of. Over to you, Olumide.
All right. So I know we're talking about entrepreneurship today, and that's going to segue into capital part. When we started this, the first part was, of course, we had a board and we said, what do we want to do? So the first thing is, what problem are you tackling? The problem you're tackling is, one, someone that needs to travel back home, that needs to take off from their job and do all those things, how do we make life easier for them? So HelpMeWaka bridges that, meaning that you don't necessarily have to travel back. We already have in every single state in Nigeria, We have people that are in Nigeria and Ghana. Of course, in Ghana it's province. We have people that have been contracted that have been vetted that's work for us. So practically anything you need to have done in Nigeria within 24 hours, we can definitely get someone. So you're right. What are the things? What are the problems? What are you trying to solve? And once you have that, the next thing is, how do you do it? Of course, what you need to do is, I always tell people, right now it's even easier. Back then, it was just websites. Now you have all the social media platforms like Instagram, like Twitter, like YouTube, that you can just basically just go on and you can start something. But for our parts, we have our sites, which is helpmewaka.com. And we've made it very easy. So one thing that I learned so many years back is anytime you're doing a business or you're doing anything, so this is actually for businesses, simplicity is the key. Make it very simple. Once you make it very simple, that people will come in there, and I always use this example, as long as my mom can do it, that means anyone can do it. So simplicity is the key thing. So on our website, we've made it very simple. It's just very easy. One goes on the website, you register, and just like you're going on Amazon to shop for groceries, that's basically the way it is there. And once you do it, the only thing that we just ask of you is just let the people know in Nigeria that, hey, someone is coming to deliver groceries. Hey, someone is coming to deliver a cake, because unfortunately, because of the terrain that we have over there, most people don't like surprises. So they don't want you to surprise them. Like, you just call someone randomly and you say that, oh, I'm here to deliver cake. Of course, if it were my mom, she'll probably hang up the phone on you. So we've stopped all that. So what we always tell entrepreneurs is appearance, get a good website, make it simple, but appearance wise, I don't want to go to a site that, instead of them writing help me Waka, they're writing help me Dakar. So those little things, you have to pay attention to it. Now, we are partners, myself and Doing were partners, and we've worked, I don't even know if we've ever argued before. Yes, we'll argue, but we know we're always going to come together because we know it's for the good of the company. So what we normally do is, he handles what he can handle. Doing is the chief technical officer. I'm the COO, but of course we dabble into each other's lanes. So key thing is entrepreneurs, it's good to have a partner that you can relate with, a partner that you can trust, a partner that that you guys got your back, whatever the person, your partner says, it's for the good of the company. Well, we've been doing this for 4 years. Every morning is the first person I'm calling. Late at night is the last person I'm calling, because we want to know what's going on. And so what we're basically doing tonight is, don't you just please feel free to just chime in, and then but just let me let you go ahead and talk, because Olumide is going to talk and talk and talk. So let me pass it on to Doyin.
I think the most important thing for anyone that has an idea is you write it down. I suggest if you have a whiteboard or a whiteboard anywhere around, write the idea down, state all the business objectives. What problem are you solving? Then do a workflow of what kind of services you'll be providing to your customer base. Now you start breaking it down. Who are your customers? Are you appealing to everybody, or is it a niche market? For example, the HelpMeWaka business is to a niche market because we are targeting Africans uniquely. Is your business targeting Africans only, or your business is targeting everybody, right? So the moment you narrow it down, you come down to costing. Try to find out how much you would charge for certain services, or how much people are willing to pay for certain services. The moment you break this thing down line by line before you even put lines of code together, or you even set up an Instagram page or anything like that, it puts clarity into your thoughts. So by writing it down and itemizing things, you will know if this stuff is really worth forging ahead, and even you need to know your competition, or your competition in that market. What are they doing? What can you do to improve what they are already doing? Are they doing the job well? Or this is a new market that you're creating? So those are some of the questions you need to answer before actually committing a lot of funds to it. And also you need one or two people to bounce off your ideas with. If you have a network of friends that are smart enough to understand the business and provide feedbacks, or you need to go meet people in that industry or a closer industry that can think through your business and tell you if it is worth taking that committing funds to it, because the initial capital for a small business or a startup is always going to be your pocket, is you. So that level, so you need to at least have an idea that what you're setting forth to do is going to be profitable at the end of the day. Then what I also look at is the scale, right? Do you have, are you trying to, are you going to be able to scale to 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 50,000, 1 million users? So the scale determines how you factor in your cost. If you're doing something for a very niche market, which means that the people you are appealing to is smaller, you might have to charge more. But if you're appealing to a larger audience, everybody can use it, then you might have to charge less. So those are some of the things that you have to look at in the startup process. So let me get over to you.
Yeah, so I'll talk, just to piggyback on some of the things you've said, right? So challenges, in business. When we first started, our goal then was, how do we scale? And we were thinking that, yes, it's going to be an easy thing. We know Doing knows a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I have family and all that. But just to bust people's bubbles, you don't depend on your friends and families for business. There are your people there for support when you need to talk to people, but you don't depend on them. So what we did was, we said, now, I'm not seeing all my friends buying something. Doing is not seeing all his friends buy something. And it's not because they don't like you. It's just simply because most of them already have those tasks already taken care of. They don't need transcripts. They don't need groceries because they have their sisters or brothers there. So we now started looking at, okay, what's the best way we need to do this? One thing for sure in business is persistency, consistency. So when I say consistency for us means that we wake up every day doing the same thing, but better. So if we're doing 1.1 on Monday, on Tuesday is 1.1 going to 2. The next day, so we always have to just look at ourselves, telling ourselves that, what did we call this person said no. At the beginning, it was kind of tough because all the funds that we were spending were basically from our pockets. Up till today, HelpMeWaka is yet to get any funding. It's just so coincidentally, I'm actually in New York City, and we're meeting up with some folks at Techstars tomorrow. And so it's kind of funny that, this is what, and now that we're talking about capital. So at the beginning, any money that was spent was basically from our pocket. So it's going to be tough, but what you just have to tell yourself is, as long as you believe in what you want to do as in the business, just look for ways to fund it. We get customers that would call us, and they would just call and just start praying for us. And then myself and Doyin will look at ourselves and we say, you know what? If someone can call us and start praying for us, it means that we're doing something. Now, you're going to call a lot of people to support you, and they're all going to say no. You're going to call organizations. I know, Doyin, I'm sure it's countless numbers of agencies that we've sent pitch decks to. We've updated pitch decks. We've done everything. And they'll just come back and say, you know what, you guys have a wonderful idea. However, we can't fund you. So with what I just said now, it's kind of strange. You go to an American and you tell the American that, hey, I have a platform and I can help people to get transcripts. And they'll look at you like, okay, in the US, you just go on the websites, you fill out the form, you pay your $20 or $25, and you get the transcript. So most times they don't really understand, what the problem is. So that's a challenge for us. So we now started looking at it in a different way, that when we word it, right, you're going to word your pitch deck in a way saying that this is a way of me helping people to get things done, so you have to play around with words. So in business, there's nothing as, the people don't say, oh, you're lying. Not like you're going to like lie, but you have to put things in there like, this is what we're doing, but you have to paint it in a way that people that wouldn't necessarily believe in what you're doing because they didn't know about it, you have to let them know that this is basically what it is. We've seen so many issues, even from in Nigeria, people will send us to some very remote areas that we have to like look for ways or look for different ways to get things done. I know the one that we did, which was sounded so funny, was we actually did a delivery that we actually went on a boat to a very remote area. This lady that even sent us there has never been there before. And one thing that we always tell ourselves is, if you come to us, as long as the job is legal, we have to get it done. And that has always put myself and doing in trouble, because there are some nights that we stay up. I know on Valentine's Day this year, a guy bought some stuff for his, I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend, and he was like, this has to be delivered on Valentine's Day, and we could not find the stuff. This was actually in Abuja, so we had to actually pay someone to drive all the way from Lagos, I think it was Ibadan, all the way to Abuja to get it done. So in business, you're going to have challenges, but how do you solve them is the key thing. And to solve the problem, you have to be like, very, very, am I going to say fierce? I don't, don't you can take over from there.
Yeah. You have to be persistent, and you have to throw. I think one of the major things that you have to conquer is fear. The fear factor is one of the reasons which prevents people from starting a business or moving forward with a plan. There's the fear of the unknown. As long as you've done your homework well on paper and everything looks good on paper, and you've bounced the idea off with one or two people, you just have to bite the bullet and conquer fear, go for it. You will never know what's at the end of the tunnel except you take that first step. So that's one of the very few things I tell people. You have to conquer fear. Definitely.
Though, yeah, you always use that. You probably want to talk about the national. You always have an example. You always give that the
No,
U.S.
oh, you mean
the land of
the U.S. flag
yeah.
is there in the U.S. anthem. It says it's the land of the free and is the home of the brave. There's a reason why that is placed down there, because this country did not exist out of cowardice. Some people fought for it. Some people labored for it. Some people had to conquer fear to kick out the British or the British Empire out of this place. So everything that has been accomplished in this country has involved bravery. So in your business, you also have to be brave. Elon Musk will not have those companies he has today without being, because what he has done it has not been done by anybody else. And I'm sure so many people told him it could not be done.
Just like when we started HelpMeWaka, I know I spoke with some people, and I know Doing spoke to people too, and they were like, doing Olumide, what exactly are you guys doing? There are people, Nigerians would never use you, Africans would never use you. But like we said from the beginning, it's not everybody that is ready to go on a journey with you. While I was growing up in my house, then my mom and dad used to put different signs around the house. There was one that used to say, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Therefore, slow and steady wins the race." Punctuality and time. All those things. And I'm now reflecting back, right? HelpMeWaka is a journey of what, 1,000 miles. We've pretty much done very well in terms of having tens of thousands of people on our platform. We've pretty much done very well in terms of providing excellent, global customer service standards for for our customers. We've pretty much done well in the fact that we are probably one of the few companies out there that would, myself and doing, if there's anything that a customer complains about, it gets to the point that we deliver groceries, you don't like it, we'll keep delivering it till you're happy. One other thing that I will always say again is for businesses, always give. Giving is key. It's not just about just taking. So this is for people that are in business and people that want to get into this journey. We always give. And one thing that we've always been known for is we give out, TVs. We just came back from Houston this past weekend. It was a big event that they had. I would say kudos to Wazobia there. And we gave out a TV. And the TV that we gave out is not just because we wanted something back. They basically called us on the stage and, we presented the award. Now, what happens? Someone would see it and they'll say, you know what, this is a good company. So you want something that people would look at and say, you know what, if this company can actually give, what else again are they doing? We have rewards programs. So in your business, reward people. You buy from us, you give them something. We have a subscription plan that, we looked at it that we have people that have been buying from us, for years. So how do we compensate them in whichever way? One of the ones that we have is you buy from us 12 times in a year. We deliver big live ram goats to someone's house, to any loved one's house. So in business, you have to think of ways to actually compensate your customers. It's not just about taking. And also, I always tell people this. I tell people that don't overspend on things that are already in existence. Perfect example, you look at Coca-Cola, they're doing a special ad. Coca-Cola has spent millions of dollars on those ads. You just need to look at what they've done and see how you can tailor it to your own business, that it would fit your business. So you don't need to go back and say, okay, you know what, this is what they did. Now, I'm not saying you should copy them, but basically what we're saying is, just they've done it. If this is the new way, because they're spending millions and you are spending thousands or hundreds, just look at their ways and make it easy. Look at Amazon. When Amazon started, Amazon, you go there, you put your credit card on their system, and you buy something. And then the next thing that they did was, wait a minute, instead of people just coming and it's taking them 4 steps, how do we make it into 2 steps? They introduced something called one click. So you just go there, you see the product that you like, and you just do 1 click and you click on it. And I'm sure now with AI, AI is definitely going to change a lot of things. Our team, at HelpMeWaka, we've started, exploring using AI to make things easier. I don't know how far, my CTO is on the line. Maybe you want to actually speak on that.
No, I'm not going to release trade secrets.
Yeah. But the key thing is you're going to have challenges. You have to be brave enough to solve those challenges. You have to be consistent. If you're posting, you have your social media pages, make sure that you post, if it's every Monday, make sure that it's every Monday, that they're looking forward to it. I watch some skits online, and there's this particular guy, that I watch every Friday. I know every Friday he has to post something. And for the fact that I'm looking forward to it, so you have to put out meaningful postings out there. There's this with AI that's out right now, with businesses, let's try to embrace things. There's an app there called Captions that can help you. What people say is, with visuals, people tend to embrace, ads more. So instead of you just doing just a regular flyer, what you want to do is make a video. You don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money. You are the face of the company. So just make a video, and while you're talking, it's, everything is on the screen. So you can even mask, you can mask or blur the face, you can do anything. So things are basically easier for you to do now. HelpMeWaka, the key thing for us is we wake up every day thinking about the business. It is not a passive business, it's an active business that we know that people love it, and how do we improve it? We started from just one service. I think right now we have about close to 16 or so services on our stuff. We're moving more into the accommodation space. We're moving more into protocol services, logistic services. So you always have to evolve. Don't just sit down and think that, you start a website that people are going to come. No, you're going to spend a lot of money and you're not going to see anything. But as long as you're consistent, the results are definitely going to come in. Mr. Doing, anything you want to share with us again?
I think the final part from me is the marketing. That is the elephant in the room. You can have a very good product, but you need to find unique, affordable ways of pushing your adverts out there so that you can reach your targeted audience. And some of the cheaper ways of doing it nowadays is you have to use your Instagram, you have to use your Facebook, and as you start growing your customers, you're going to need, if it's an Afrocentric business, you're going to need an influencer or an ambassador. That will come in later on if it's an Afrocentric business. So that is just one thing of it. The marketing part is going to be very key because, especially for HelpMeWaka, because our target audience are dispersed in different areas of the world. We have the Nigerian hub in Houston. We have the Nigerian hub in Maryland. There's a New York, New Jersey hub. There's an Atlanta hub. There's a London hub. You need to find unique ways of reaching this targeted audience. Sometimes you have to go for church events, road shows, cultural events, Nigerian parade events, Nigerian cultural events, and also tag along with some concerts that are coming into the country. Just ways in which you can effectively put out your materials out there so that people can know what you do.
Yeah. That's key because it's so funny that for the past few weeks now, we've been in Dallas, we've been in Houston, we've been in Philadelphia, we've been in Atlanta, and you have to sell your products. Even if you don't have the money to fly, drive. I'm personally, I'll give you just as a personal experience. I'm in New York City now. This afternoon, I knew that we had this show, and I was like, Olumide, what do you have to do? You have an event tomorrow. You have the session this evening. Do you have to go early? So as a business person, you have to be able to think on your feet. My thing was, I'm just going to get in the car and I go. It was 3.5 hours, and I'm here. And so as a business person, you should be ready to hit the road. If they say there's a show tomorrow that you're going to meet 3,000 people, get your flyers ready, get your banners ready. So all these pull-up banners, anytime you have the opportunity to sell yourself, you have to do it. In my car, in Doyin's car, in our bags, we have everything about HelpMeWaka. So at any point, we have to sell it because you don't know who it is. You don't know who your next customer is. So just push on, wake up every morning, think about your business, wake up every morning, think of how you can improve, wake up every morning, think of how you can push the standard to the next level. Also, competition is going to come. I'm so surprised, and Doyin is so surprised that we're yet to see anyone wake up one day and say they're going to copy what we're doing. If they were to call us, we'll gladly tell them how to even start the business because you shouldn't, I'll take this back to what Nigeria Center is doing. We always talk about this. We have 200 million Nigerians plus, about 7+ million is outside Nigeria. So 1% of that is what? 70,000 people. 10% of that is 700,000 people. Even if 10 companies were to come and do the same thing that we're doing, so out of the 700,000, we're taking 70,000 people. So you do the math, right? So if you're making X amount per person, your company can still scale. And you're only just talking about just Nigeria. So never be afraid of competition. You have to let it come on because that would allow you to move to the next level. Right now, we're just competing with ourselves. That's just what we're doing. We're competing with ourselves, and that's why it's even better. So by the time people come, they're like, wow, these people have gone 1,000 steps. And is it easy? No, it's not easy. But, you see Coca-Cola, and you'd be wondering, Coca-Cola is very, very popular out there. Why are they still advertising? Why are they still pushing for stuff? Why are they still doing research on how they can make the drink cheaper or better, on all those things? So those are the things that we do. And as entrepreneurs, when you wake up and you think of your business, schedule times weekly. We always have like daily check-in calls. That's every day at 8:30 in the morning. Myself and Doyin, we have to talk. This is our plan for today. This is our plan for this week. This is our plan that we're following, that it has to be for this quarter. This is our plan that we're doing this. So if you're not planning, you can't really get anywhere, because how do you measure yourself? So I know we've said a lot. This was actually supposed to be for us to actually use slides, but we said that it's better to actually just speak, based on what you see in your daily life. And that's the reason why we've, done it this way.
Thank you so very much, Olumide and Doyin. Thank you for taking us through the world of HelpMeWaka. I want to open the floor now for questions. Do we have questions from participants? Please raise up your hands if you have any questions. If not, I'm ready to ask my questions. Anybody?
I do have a question. My name is Damilala Bimbi, but I can go after you, Jumoke.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Doyin and Mr. Olumide. Thank you for this wealth of knowledge. And it's funny that I like the fact that you addressed the Afrocentric market, meaning that the target market is Africans. And I hope my internet is not that bad, but so my question is, you did say that having an influencer, and that was one of the target I was going for marketing my business. But how do you choose an influencer that can put out the value of your business? Because for me, I think the first influencer I told I was going to interview her. I wanted to see how she was going to project the value and how she was going to relate to the product or the services I was trying to market. Because I felt that if you're going to influence my product or if you're going to influence the services I'm bringing, it was very important to me that you saw the value in the service and you're able to, and she just said, no, I don't have to see the value in it. And you can't be my influencer. So for me, because I felt that the value, it wasn't services, the value was the most important thing to project to the Afrocentric market. And everybody knows that to even target that market is very hard. So, how do you, when an influencer tells you that, was it okay for me to say, oh, sorry, no, bye? Or I don't know.
So if I may take the question.
Was I too strict? Yes.
You can, as a business, right, you cannot use every influencer. You have to find somebody that fits the profile of your business. Now, there are some influencers that are just there for comedy. And if you're doing something serious, you're not going to get the audience you're looking for. So you really have to, the first thing I do is I look at the content of that influencer and see what they do, what kind of content they put out. Then also follow the comments and have an idea of where his or her audience are coming from. A very good influencer should be able to give you a profile of where their visitors are coming from and where the visitors are coming from, what countries they're coming from, how many contents they bring out, how many people come every month, every week, every year. So having that idea will make you know the right person. Now, in our own case, right, our target audience is the Nigerian and Ghanaian folks that are based abroad, which is unique. We can't just use any Nigerian influencer or Ghanaian influencer. We have to look for someone that has an appeal from the diaspora base. That's one of the reasons why we went with Adiola. Adiola is mostly watched by the diaspora folks to listen to news in a comedy fashion, right? So a lot of people watch her, and a lot of people over the years, they take her serious because she produces news content in a comic fashion, but the content is real and factual. So over the years, I think she has gathered a lot of followership or subscribers based on that. Then also, when you're choosing an influencer, right, I would advise that you don't do a one-off, right? You probably need to arrange something like a small campaign, maybe post one every week, or the person is posting once a month for you, because you will see more results when it's a campaign than a one-off. The one-off does not favor the business owner. The one-off favors the influencer. So whatever arrangement you're going to make with that influencer, you need a campaign.
Yeah, and just add to that, number one rule is if the person doesn't believe in your product, don't use the person. Adiola believes so much in our product that she actually used us and she was able to vouch for what we're doing. Also, I know Doing did mention about, so there are some of them that, depending on what you're trying to push out in terms of, is it a service, is it a product? There are some times that we post things on some mediums online, and the reason why we posting is just for awareness. So we know definitely it's not going to give us the money, but the more you see us out there. So say, for example, Linda KG, Tunde Nuts, and all those sites or those blogs outside. You see us and you see us there. You go to different places, you see us. So the key thing is you have to know what exactly are you trying to push out there. Are you trying to get them to come use your service? Are you trying to get them to know more about you? And cost-wise, I can tell you it's expensive. There are some influencers online on sites like Fiverr that they'll tell you they can do things. What we always look at is perfect example. We had this lady that we used when we started in Ghana. We had this lady that we used, and she had 2.5 million or so, 2.7 million followers. And when she posted for us, was it even up to 20 people that liked it? It was so you have to look at them. So most of these people, influencers, most of them buy followers. So the best way that you can quickly tell is you look at the reactions on each of those posts, right? So if someone has 2 million followers, I expect to at least see 100,000, 50 to 100,000 people liking it, viewing it. And once you see that, definitely that they have the right followers. But if you're seeing 1%, 2%, it's more or less like a waste of money.
Thank you so much. I think it's just kind of put a perspective for me. Thank you, Doing. Thank you, Lumide.
No problem.
Thank you. I see Sahid. Please, can you ask him the question in 1 minute so we run through? There's also another question in the chat bar or in the chat box, so please note that. Saeed Adelaide, are you here?
Yes, I am. So it's a two-part. One is a general comment, and the other would be a question. General comment being, thank you, Benga. Thank you, Jumoke Nigerian Center. This is really a prideful moment right now that we as Nigerians and diasporans can really be all-inclusive. I mean, from the creators to the speakers, it's all Nigerian. It's all prideful moment for Africa immigrants. So I want to say a big thank you. And of course, encourage you to keep up the pace. To Doing and Olumide, I mean, you said it all, okay? You just didn't think of an idea, but you acted on it regardless of the obvious challenges that comes with our country or the region. and of course, we as Black people in general. So again, I do encourage you all, and you both in particular, never to relent, but capitalize on the opportunity that also lies in investment within the diaspora network. I know you said, Olumide, you're out there in New York for, a peach. Have you actually considered the option of doing a crowdfunding amongst the Nigerian diasporans to actually support what you're trying to do? If that has been considered, what are the processes? And of course, I'll be glad to chat with you guys more outside of this. Thanks again.
Okay. Just add to, we have not, I know crowdfunding is there. We actually thought about it. We were actually looking at other avenues. So definitely would be glad to, to have a chat with you in regards to that. But it's something that we had on the table. But, we've always been looking at it like, you have a good product. What do you need to do? You need to go pitch to people. Then we found out that the people don't understand what you're saying because, well, I don't have an accent, so that's not the case, right? So it's just basically because they just don't understand the reason why you're doing it. So now, I can tell you, maybe if we had this session tomorrow, if it was tomorrow, I'll be able to say, you know what, Olumide was able to get in front of like 100 people, and I said, this is what we this. But Saeed, thank you so much about that. We'll definitely get your information and we'll reach out to you on that.
Okay, thank you. We still have a question in the chat box, but we'll come back to the questions and answer sessions. Right now, I want us to go to the other part of this presentation, and I will be bringing in the brain behind Nigerian Center, Gbenga Jimmy, who will do the presentation about how to access capital for your small business. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Thank you, our dynamic speakers. Thank you, Saeed, Damilola, the questions that came through. Thank you for graciously donating your time to speak to us about entrepreneurship and the story behind the enterprise. I have some questions as well, but which I'm going to come back to. So quickly, a quick recap for those who join us a bit more later. Upcoming events. Tomorrow we do have a very important workshop, which is I-Team workshop. So if you know anyone who just came into the country, who may not be eligible for Social Security, who are still navigating their immigration status, oftentimes folks tend to focus so much on getting compliant as far as immigration is concerned, but they kind of let down the tax obligation everyone leaving the United States has, regardless of your immigration status. So we're doing this workshop. It is very important. The speaker is one of the IRS accredited centers in the DMV area. So it's licensed for this. It's going to be very beneficial. Getting involved. How can you get involved with our work? All the videos that our workshop, including this one, is on our media page, which is Nigerian Center /media. We also have our press releases there for the important campaign we have going on. Our previous workshops, capital, real estate, immigration, all of that is available on our on-demand page on our website. Volunteer opportunities. As Jumoke said, we're a volunteer-led team. We're all volunteers. Please reach out to us, see how you can be of contribution or service to the work that we do. Be patient with us if we don't have an opportunity readily available for you, but that should not stop you from reaching out to see how you can serve. Community partners. Are you a community leader? Do you work with immigrant communities in any fashion? Consider to become our Communities Partners Network. The form is very simple. Just go online and fill out the form, and we're going to follow up with you about that, with more information about that, excuse me. Social media. If you're not following us on social media, please do so. We are available at the Nigerian Center. Some websites or some pages, and others is Nigerian Center. Please follow us today. Donations. Was it Olumide who made my day when he talked about giving? Please consider giving to Nigerian Center. Nigerians, we are highly generous people. We give so much. Please consider, you heard the saying, charities begin at home. We now have a center called Nigerian Center. Your donation will make significant impact. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. I think everyone listening to this call, if you have any value that you think Nigerian Center provides the community, we appreciate you supporting us all the areas, but we definitely need financial donations. I should also mention that we are 501c3, so all of your donation are tax deductible. So please donate to the Nigerian Center. Particularly, I really encourage you to consider to be a recurring donor and just track the work of Nigerian Center. Just track us for 3 months. You can always unsubscribe the recurring donation. But we know that your impact, your contribution is going to go a long way. Okay, so now I want to go to the small business aspect of this, which is why a lot of people are here, or some of us are here. Nigerian Center, we do have a small business loan program, lending program, and we know entrepreneurship is the only avenue some of us have for survival in the United States because of obvious reasons. Some of us is the only option that we have, whether as independent contractors or whether as micro entrepreneurs, but we don't always have access to traditional forms of financing. And you heard the great organization would just speech regard even considering the level of impact they have in several countries. They're still navigating their own journey as well. So this is a shared common experience for a lot of us. And so we decided to do something about this. Nigerian Center is not just only designed to be a community center, an immigrant center, but we are actually an emerging financial institution, a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institutions. So right now we have two major access to capital opportunities. The very first one is the credit loans. So we give credit loans anywhere from $500 to $5,000 for you to build your credit. When folks come to the country, as we all have experienced, those of us who were not born in America, it took us a while for us to get our first credit card. And even some of us have to resist doing credit because we're told once you owe anybody money, don't go to bed with your two eyes closed. Make sure that you pay everybody you owe. But in America, credit is not only king, credit is queen, and credit is the empire. So credit is everything here. So for those demographic, we have credit building loans from the very first day they come into the country. They can immediately start building their credit. So when they want to make significant purchases like their house, like their car, like their business, things like that, they have a good credit history to be able to do that. Also, those who may need to repair their credit are also eligible for the loans as well. The second one is a small business loan that we have. They are micro loans, and I'm going to go through the requirement of both loans shortly. You can learn more about these loans at Nigerian Center/small business. You can get more information. There's an application form there. There's an inquiry form if you just want to speak to someone on the team about the loans. So starting with credit building loans. So these loans, the sources of this loan, some of them come through the SBA. Some of them come through philanthropic organizations. So it varies. And you can actually take the loan up to 3 years. I want to encourage you to do so because this is how we work with this loan. Because this loan are without collateral, we start very small. We start around like $1,000 is the average approval rate. So once I'm going to ask you to mute if you're not. If you can all do that, that'll be fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm getting some feedback. So as I was saying, like you can go up to 3 years, but we will start with $1,000 because there's not have collateral base with it. For those who want to build credit, it is not the money for you to start a business. It's for you to establish credit. And we can report to your credit, to the credit agencies, and you start to build credit. So the goal is not for consumption, it's for credit building. Then after the $1,000, you can move to $3,000 and $5,000 and $10,000, and you can keep going. The credit building loans also doubles for a micro loan. The micro loan could be for any level. You don't have to be incorporated as a full LLC or business. You could be aspiring, you could have a business idea. You can take the loan as well. And again, we start averagely with $1,000. It doesn't have collateral, and it goes up to $25,000. Again, you take $1,000, you return the money, you go to the next phase and the next phase. Now, because we don't have collateral, we do have what is called a social collateral model. And what that means is that once you come to get the loan, we are going to ask that you form a accountability loan, accountability group. It's usually 3 to 5 members in that group. The members of the group are not liable for each other's loan, but it's more like a support accountability system. If anyone is in default, you can support each other. You can always network as well. So you can actually invite your family members, your community to actually be in a group together. Some people don't like that or do not want to do that. You can tell Nigerian Center to put you in a Nigerian Center group. So that will be people listening to this call who want to take the loan, we'll put you in the same group as well. Now, the caveat is if there is a default in that group, nobody's moving to the next level. So think of Ajo, Esusu, and all the other names. Just that you're not putting money in a single pot, but there's that community component to it. What is the interest rate? It's 0% to 6% on a declining basis, meaning that the loan's interest is only going to go on whatever you have left that you owe, not the entire loan. Some of these loans are actually 0%. One of those, it's a female, if you're a female entrepreneur, we have a program that is 0% just for female entrepreneurs. And for those who are not female entrepreneurs, it's a very affordable loan. As I said, it is not for profit making, it's to close access to capital gap. So what are the requirements? Government issued identification, driver's license, learner's permits, ID cards, state ID cards. If you do not have that, if you're still in the process of getting your driver's license, please reach out to the Nigerian Center. We now have a social service program. And now we now directly work with the DMVs, so we can actually give you support letters to the DMV. Many states have other alternative forms of driver's license for those who are still in between status. So reach out to us about that. We'll be able to help with that. The second requirement is a social security number, or ITIN, and the workshop for tomorrow. If you don't have that, again, reach out to the Nigerian Center to know how you can get one. Collateral is not required. It is open to new or an unincorporated business. I hate to say this at this point. At this point, we're only having consideration taking applications from Washington, DMV-based entrepreneurs. You can still reach out to us if you live outside of the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. But right now, that is a priority for the loans. And reason is because the financial institutions we work with serve this area for now. But please don't let that stop you from reaching out to us. So I'm going to go quickly to the small business loan. Oftentimes, we receive application, and because folks have seen that the loans can go up to $250,000, some people may immediately want to apply for a $250,000 loan. It does not work like that. So this loans is primarily targeting businesses that are already established. And even more preferably, even traditional brick and mortar businesses. Those who doesn't have that are not disqualified from applying for the loans. Now, those who are at the very early stage of the business, they can still get the small business loan. They can get a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 loan. But we will ask for collateral for that. Collateral will be required. They can still get some loans, particularly for female entrepreneurs, at 0%. It goes up to 12.5 fixed interest rate during the term of the loan. There are more requirements for this type of loan. There will be your personal and bank statements for 6 months, personal and business tax return for 2 years. Collateral will be required at this stage, meaning that usually real estate, title, if you have like a food business, the ovens or the equipments that you use for those business will be required. There will be an application fees. None of this fee come to us. It goes to the financial institutions. There is a closing fee that is also going to be taken away from the loan, which is 1% to 3%. There is a business plan required or very simple explanation use of funds. And one of the positive things for this particular program, there's also collateral support programs that will be able to connect you with. Even if you're not able to have the required collateral, there are other programs that would also help you to build that collateral. But years of experience, filing tax returns is important. So this is what we tell people. We would say, why don't you start with a microloan, and as your business grows, you can actually grow with the type of capital usage or utilization for your business. So a lot of people are starting at $1,000, and now they have people who have gone to $20,000. But I think for me, the great thing about this program, I don't know what level of entrepreneurship you are in, just to have a resource, say up to like $25,000, that is flexible, that is patient capital, that doesn't have any stringent barriers to them, that you can easily access as a bridge financing loan. It's a great opportunity. And you won't be able to get this, and immigration status does not apply for any of these loans. So this is pretty much the presentation with the capital. I'm going to take questions. Any questions for me as far as small business financing is concerned?
So I have a question. Is this just US based, or is this I'm just trying to understand that. Is it just US or?
Great question. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yes, so this opportunities are only for those who are resident in the United States. So those who are overseas cannot apply for this loan. It's only for those who are in the United States that are eligible for these loans. So there would be a residency requirement for this, and hence the issue of government issued ID, that is United States government issued ID, will be required from you as well.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I just have a comment. So basically, there was really no point of me driving all the way to New York, right? And which I've said we needed a 250,000 times 4.
Okay.
Is that the max?
Okay. Well, so yes, you do not have to. Actually, you still need to go to New York because HelpMeWaka is a bigger business, but this can actually contribute or supplement that. We also say that another benefit for this, and thank you, Limited, for that, is that these loans also can provide you some form of supporting documents from a financial institution that other investors want to see as a proof to your financial stewardship in your business. And that is why I encourage a lot of people to take microloans, because there might be doctors, pharmacists, and all this high-earning professionals, but they are not yet in business. They don't have business history. So through this experience, they can get one. When they decide to go to New York, like HelpMeWaka, go to speak to the venture capital, we can now provide with the other financial institution a supporting document that proves your financial stewardship. So that is another value for these loans as well.
So Mr. Benga, I have a quick question. My name is Ade Faledi. The application everything is online, or do we have to come into your office to show like the hard copy of documents and things like that?
No, everything is online. The entire application, so once you go to that business, you scroll down to the bottom of the page. There are 2 tabs. One is inquiry, one is application. You fill out the forms. And then once you fill out the form, you'll be assigned a loan officer, and underwriting process will start. You're required to come in to sign at closing to take the final loan for disbursement. But until that stage, everything could be done online.
Good. And how long does the average process take?
What takes the most is the group. The actual process itself can be like 2 weeks, but where folks usually goes into multiple weeks is the group dynamic. So just to give you an example is, some people might be comfortable with forming their own group. One member of the group is not as committed to the process, that can hold the group down. Or we put them in a group, there's no chemistry with that group and trying to, work together, that can hold the group down. But the actual process of underwriting the loan is about 2 weeks.
Okay, I think I joined a little bit later. Maybe I was not listening. So what is the group concept? Or is it something we can take offline? I don't want to hold up the.
Oh, great. No, Grish, I'll be happy to touch about that. So because these loans, the first category, the credit building and startup loans are micro loans that don't have collateral requirements. So we have what is called social requirements. And the social requirement, just think about it like a Joy, a Susu type of model.
Okay.
But the difference is not contributing and commingling resources, is an accountability support network.
Okay.
So that is the purpose of the group. So you can either form your group 3 to 5, or you can ask Nigerian Center to put you in an existing group.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes. I see a question.
So I have something about the accountability. I know you can only account for yourself, So how are you going to be accountable for your group, really? Because we are talking about, our people, of course we're talking about, maturity and your group and all. So how does that come into play? So when you're talking about group and accountability of the group, who accounts for that, really?
Yeah, so I think that's a valid point, and I mentioned that kind of, people can have more questions about that. Is the group members are not liable for each other's loan. So this is a personal transaction that you have with a contract you have with a financial institution. Now the loan, the group dynamic, we call it accountability, is just to hold each other accountable to fulfilling the responsibility of loan repayment. So if someone defaults in that group because we don't have any collateral, all the group will be prevented from going to the next level. And the next level is, once you fulfill, you return the loan, you can take additional loans. So what we have found out is it really works well when folks call each other and say, hey, you have to really stay current. Do you need help? Do you need sales? Do you need additional fundraising? What is the issue? So that is the only connection we have to the group. Is the question from Lawson? Humphrey?
Good evening. I actually just got on, just reading the information you have on the screen here on the credit building and startup loans. And then I don't want to go back since I've missed a little bit of information, but is there any way you can explain how this works again, as far as the holding people accountable, each other accountable, how the loan works actually?
Okay. Yes, that's why we're here. So the way the loan works is, as stated on the screen, the entire term life, the duration of the loan is up to 3 years. I should also mention that you get to determine how much you want to repay. So you can choose to repay $50 every month, or every two weeks, or even lower than that. So this has some form of government and philanthropic support to this loan. So it's very patient capital. So you're not required, there is no requirement for collateral. we ask what is called a group community. We call it a social collateral. So pretty much is the credibility that you are applying for this loan. So once we have this group, they all have individual contracts with the financial institution. With the group members are not in each other's contract. The only time it comes up about the group usually is when there's a default. And the default often happens when a member of the group is trying to get more loans. So they start at 1,000, they're trying to get 5,000 loan, or they have 10,000 trying to go to $20,000 loan. If there's a default with that group, that will prevent them from doing so. That is the only collateral we ask. Now, there's the option of the typical, you can actually go off collateral, on collateral for the loan. But for this, that collateral might be a barrier. This is the only requirement we ask for folks. So a way towards that is you can form your own group with people you're comfortable with. Couples can go together. Your family can go together. There's no barrier for that. Co-workers can go in together. There's no, if you're more comfortable with that group. Now say, okay, my wife does not need a loan. My family does not need a loan. Okay, we have a group. We can put you in a group. You get to choose that. That is the only requirement piece that, that we have for the loan. And how does it work? So the average approval rate is around $1,000 to $1,500. Then once you return that, you can go to $3,020, and you can go on like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what it entails. So the application is on the website, Nigerian Center. Unfortunately, we are only receiving applications for entrepreneurs in the DMV area at this time. If you're outside of the DMV area, please still reach out to us. I just want to make that disclosure. I hope that answered the question, Mr. Humphrey.
Absolutely, yes. I am in the DMV area and I'm definitely interested. So I will go online and check out the application and see what we need to do.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, any other question? I still see Said's hand on. I don't know if it was prior or now.
No, it's actually recent. Thanks, Mr. Benga, for that information. I wanted to find out. So I know you said your focus is the DMV area. Are you looking into other regions and other markets? If yes, what's your next stop? Just again to see if there's any assistance we can render. Thanks for all that you're doing, and I'll circle back with you as well.
Yeah, well, I just want to highlight that Mr. Said has been a strong supporter with other communities, other Nigerian communities like NAPAC, for the center. So thank you for being here as well. Folks have given us ultimatum to be in Texas. Somebody actually called and said, I give Nigerian Center an ultimatum to be in Texas by so date. So we are working towards that, but as our entrepreneurs, Olumide and Doyin said that, we want to scale gradually. So I think the DMV area for us, it has a significant audience here. We are a new organization, so we are also learning as we go. We have stumbled in a very big impact opportunity. We want to be responsible with that as well. So I think we're trying to manage as much as we can in the DMV area. We are gradually opening some aspect of our programs nationwide. So right now, anyone can call to the center to speak to our lawyers. So we are providing their services. We are increasingly doing more virtual programs. So folks outside of the country as well can have opportunities to what we have. Our policy work with the TPS is also national as well. And we're also very intentional about partnerships with organizations like yourself at NAPAC, even church networks like Redeemed Churches. So we are taking advantage of those existing networks. We don't have specific timelines in terms of brick and mortar outside of the DMV at this time. So we see how this new model of going more virtual and online services, we'll see how that plays out. But thank you for your support, Mr. Said.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn it over to Jumoke, but if there's more time, my only question for Mr. Doing is mindset. That were there any kind of and Olumide as well, any mindset adjustment that you had to be mindful of as with a Nigerian background doing business in America? I think that mindset piece, they say you have to kind of unlearn, relearn. Did that come for you folks? But I'm going to turn it back to Jumi if there's time for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Benga. Thank you. So I want to turn us back to our speakers. I wish to answer Benga's question because we don't have any question waiting for now. Well, I mean, there's still one more question in the chat box that I must put your attention to. I don't know if Chai is still here, but I mean, he's asked a question a while ago, and I wanted to have an idea of how much you allocate for marketing and how to determine the percentage. I don't know what advice you have in this area from Doyo Olumide. Please, sir, I don't know if you have any advice in this area and you're willing to share.
The thing is, it depends on. Right now, marketing is kind of strange because the regular way of marketing before, it's not the same as you see now. So on our part, at least minimum 25 to 30% goes into marketing because we have to do from the physical side to the online part. Online things right now is so expensive. So what we also tell people is don't just spend. You have to see, try it out first. If it doesn't work out, switch to something else. Now, to answer just a response to the question that Benga asked, right? Mindset with Africans, it's completely, I can tell you that we're a different breed. There's a book that I'm reading now. It says how to sell to a Nigerian. And the reason why we're doing this is because, yes, we all grew up in Nigeria. I've been in the US for about 27 years now. So by the time I add my years and doing it, is probably about 50 years. So, of course, there are things that are happening over there that have changed. So what do we always do? That's the reason why we got that book. And we're like, you know what, let's even understand. Maybe there are things that we've missed. Nigerians, I'm a Nigerian, doing it as a Nigerian, where they're very, very, very difficult, group to deal with. But with all that, put the mindset aside, just know that you're working with a customer and just do your best and make sure that the customer is always happy. That's the key thing. I don't know if you want to just add to that. You're mute, though.
Yeah, especially if you have Afrocentric businesses, right? For example, let me give you a case study, Cash App. Cash App can get away with not having a customer support phone number. They just expect you to email your complaints. It goes into a pool and somebody is going to respond to it later on. If you have an Afrocentric business, you would need a customer line. They like that human touch. They always want to talk to somebody. The website has everything they need, but they still want to talk to someone to know that there's someone on the other side that can respond to their issues, complaints, or inquiries. So that's one thing I've noticed from Afrocentric businesses. Then over time, you get to earn their trust. From day one, there's no trust from day one. But over time, you get to earn their trust as they try you out. When they do, they like the services, then they can now recommend their friends and families.
Can I just add one part to that? One thing that we introduced this year is the fact that, we have dedicated people, because of, the mindset. So we're trying to change that narrative, in a way that don't look at us as a Nigerian company, don't look at us as a Ghanaian company, look at us as a company that wants to make changes. So now anyone that comes to HelpMeWaka, you register, we have people that call you. When you place an order, we have people that call you. When there's a problem, we have people that call you. So people are now wondering that, wait a minute, is this really an African company that is doing this? So you just have to always look for ways, innovative ways to make changes to your business. And once you do that, you'll definitely see the advantage to that. So it's something that's been working, and it's something I would recommend and tell people that, and by the way, you don't need to spend too much money. Look for people that need jobs, that can do it for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, we're past time to close. Yes, I need to call your attention. Someone is telling you to please share that book that you're reading. So please do that. Also,
it's actually very easy. It's online. It's so funny. It says how to sell to a Nigerian. That's the easiest way. So just look for it, and you'll be so shocked about what you're going to find in there.
Okay, and then finally, somebody's asking that, do you have to pitch my business idea in front of a panel? Well, I can answer for the small business idea. No, you don't need to pitch. You don't even have to have a business plan, but that starts up as small business. You don't have to have a business plan. Just have your idea, and and then move forward with it. So please just reach out to us for further questions on this. Also, I must chip in for the startups and the small business loan. The valid identification can also be your international passport if you're yet to get the government approved, passport. So your valid international passport can suffice for the small business and the, and the startups. So, I mean, at this juncture, I will have to say thank you to everybody for attending our workshop. Please remember to join us tomorrow for the IT workshop. I'm sure it's also going to be very beneficial. Thank you to our esteemed speakers, Mr. Lumide, Mr. Doyin. Thank you so very, very much for your time. We sincerely appreciate it. And thank you, everybody. We look forward. Please keep up with the Nigerian Center, www.nigeriancenter.org. Keep up with all our programs. Spread the word. Nigerian Center is here to serve you. And please help us spread the word. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ms.
Bye.
Mr. Don. Bye. Thank you.
It's not till the morning.